Welcome to the Enmanji virtual Shotsuki Hoyo service for the month of June. I am Barbara Dinklespiel of the Enmanji Buddhist Temple and Chairperson of today's service. The Shotsuki Hoyo service is held each month in observance of the loss of all our family members, relatives, and friends who have passed on in the month in which it is observed. Our service today will be officiated by Reverend Fujimoto, Minister of the Alameda Buddhist Temple and Supervising Minister of Enmanji. Sensei will now begin with the dedication, Hyo Byakumon.
Hyo Byakumon. Today, on this occasion of our Shotsuki service, members of the Enmanji Buddhist Temple have reverently come before Amida Buddha in memory of their beloved.
The Enmanji Temple Shotsuki Hoyo honorees for the month of June are as follows. Toshio Fujihara, Matsuyo Kunimoto, Ichi Matsuda, Kimiko Matsumoto, Akinobu Miyashita, Ryoko Zaimon Yokoyama, Tohei Okazaki, Seiichi Okuma, Kazuo Oshita, Yumi Shigematsu, Toshio Shimizu, Satsu Sugiyama, Masai Ichi Takahashi, Jimmy Wakayama, Richard Albert Dangers, Annette Juan, Choco Miyano, Namiko Takao, Kisaburo Tsujihara, Umataro Wakayama, Hatsuyo Yamazaki, Chika Matsumoto, George Mukaida, Maxine Abe, Chikako Allen, Sumiya Kobayashi, Ayami Taniguchi, Mary Tomiko Miyazaki, Mary Satsuyo Yamakawa, Alice Nobuko Takao, Terumi Moriki, Ralph Horio, Norma Sugiyama, Won-Sur Lim, and Amy Tsunemoto. Namandautsu, Namandautsu, Namandautsu. Reverend Fujimoto will continue with the chanting, and for those who would like to join in the chanting, a PDF copy of the Purple Shin Buddhist Service Book can be accessed from the same site as this service. Sensei will begin with Sambujo, the 3 respectful callings found on page 24. Then continue with the first 10 pages of Amida Kyo, the Amida Sutra on pages 103 to 113. This will be followed by the Nembutsu Echo on pages 134 and 135.
With deepest reverence and thankfulness for the all-embracing wisdom and compassion of Amida, we reaffirm the 3 homages. Namo Kie Butsu, Namo Kie Ho, Namo Kie So. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Please repeat the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, 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 Namanda. 説阿弥陀経行税がも日時分在者へ国義中期孤独音四大ビク主1250人空海税大あらかん修書知識長老者利法マカモ県連マカカ書マカカ千年マカクチラリハタシュリアンダガナンダアナンダラゴラキョモンハダイビンズルハラダカルダイマカコヒナハクラヌルダニョゼト初代弟子病床菩薩マカサモンジュシリオジアイタ菩薩天高大菩薩上昇人菩薩四尿税と初代菩薩釈大観音と無量大祝二次文語長老者利法十税財法果樹万六分道世界妙安極楽合道無分語阿弥陀根源在説法者利法移動が公明意極楽合国修上無宿単住昇楽公明極楽利法極楽国道修南樹七十羅網七十五樹改税司法修相異尿税公費国明安極楽者利法極楽国道無執法知薬毒水十万五中地帯順に根社富士四辺街道金言ルリアリ五条上老各役位金言ルリアリ社公爵襲名の二言直視地中蓮華大尿車輪小式小公王式陽公釈式釈公白式白公微妙公見者利法極楽国土長寿尿税功徳将軍無者利法非部国土調査天学黄金二次昼夜六時二遊万だらけ五国修上上位昇誕各位英国上修明家供養他法十万六分即位直時検討本国本時期協業者利法極楽国土上寿尿税功徳将軍仏師者利法非国上中寿奇妙座敷市長白国弱大武者利下領賓が愚名市長聖書宗長長や六時水和慶音五音年長五根公力七宝大文那小道文尿税東方合同修上門税音二回出年仏年法戦争釈 シャリホニョモツイシチョジツゼサイホショショショイシャガヒブ国土ムサンマクシュシャリホゴブ国土ショムサンマクドシミョガキョウジツゼショシチ改正阿弥陀仏欲量本宣流演芸少佐チャリホヒブ国土未不水道小法語十牛法ラモ水未明音非尿百戦中学同時空差音税音社会事年上念仏念法念相死心シャリホ五部国土長寿尿税功徳将軍
Reverend Fujimoto will now deliver the Dharma talk.
Good morning again, everyone. It's nice to have all of you joining our Shotsuki service this month. It's always a special service to come and to be able to acknowledge and remember those that we have lost in our families, and it's a very touching and meaningful part of our Jodo Shinshu tradition. I appreciate it very much, and I know that you do too. Today I have a story about Reverend Bunyu Fujimura, who served the Buddhist Churches of America, first came in 1935, and he was assigned to the Salinas Buddhist Temple, and he was just 25 years old when he came. So he was not able to go back to visit his family in Japan for 4 years. And so when he finally had the opportunity to go back to his family, he had a poem in mind that had come to mind, a poem written by Ishikawa, Takuboku. And this is what the poem says. What can you say to the mountains of your birthplace? How arigatai they are. This was his sense of coming home, going back home. The mountains and the rivers that he had known and grew up with were still there, and they were accepting him just as he was, just as they always had, welcoming him home again. So he had all this recollection of the places that he had grown up with, and perhaps flying back to Japan, or maybe it was a boat that he went on, right? Going back to Japan and seeing that scenery, the mountains, everything around his family, very touching for him to see this. And when he returned home, his parents, neighbors, and many of the people, temple members, had all come to the station to welcome him home. And his parents were very touched, tearful to see him coming back home again. After he had left for America, his parents had asked a distant relative named Fumiko, maybe a second cousin or a distant cousin, to help at the family temple, and maybe also to fill the void that was left because Bunyu had left. So Tomiko stayed there with the family and helped with all the duties, responsibilities, and errands that needed to be done at the family temple. After he had come home, Fumiko and Sensei were talking, and she told him that while he was away, his mother would go out to the garden, face the eastern sky every night, and put her hands together in Gassho. Even when it was cold and very windy, she would go out there. She stood there for a long time every evening. Coming back in, his mother had asked Fumiko, "America is that way, isn't it?" Pointing to the east. "I wonder what Bunyu is doing now." And it wasn't until this moment when Fumiko told the story to Bunyu that he sensed this great love of his mother. All the while he was in America, he didn't think much about his parents. He was working hard, excited to have a new life in America. And hearing the story from Fumiko, he could see that in his excitement of a new life in a new world, he had forgotten all about his mother and his father. Now he could see and sense the image of his mother standing in Gassho, thinking about him every day, every moment. And it is in the same sense of coming home that the Nembutsu calls us to return, to come from where we came from, to Amida, to the Pure Land, to the infinite. So just as our mothers, our parents, thinking about us, considering us, about us each moment, and without our knowing it, we get so busy with everything that we need to do and to take care of all of our own responsibilities and situations that we get involved in. And in the same sense, we forget about this calling voice, the Nembutsu, that calls us to reconnect to the realm that we came from, connect to Amida, to the infinite that surrounds us at each moment of our lives. So this is the Nembutsu teachings and practice, and when we recite the Nembutsu, it is the Namo Amida Butsu that is calling us and reminding us to reconnect to all that we are connected to. So please join me in Gassho as I read this poem one more time. What can you say to the mountains of your birthplace? How arigatai they are. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Thank you for letting me share this story. I'm always touched to hear the recollections, the memories of the earlier ministers that served the Buddhist churches of America, coming from Japan and taking on their assignments, visiting their family at home, and also all the struggles they had to endure during the war times here in America. So many touching stories that have been endured by the people who have come before us. And part of their story is the stories that we encounter and recollect as we come to our Shotsuki services. So thank you again for being a part of this service. I'd like to thank everyone who has been involved in preparations for our services, the many things that do need to be done and to be taken care of in order for these video services to be prepared and sent out to you, and we thank them all. At this time, we will prepare the incense offering. I'll light incense here and there, and please do so as you normally do at your homes, whether it is burning incense or rocks, flower petals, whatever you have set up to do, and we will come up in Oshoko. So please join me again. We'll conclude this service. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda, 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 Namanda. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
This will conclude the Shotsuki Hoyo service for the month of June. Our thank you and appreciation to Reverend Fujimoto for opening the service with the ringing of the Kansho and for today's Dharma talk. To the June Toban for the flowers and offerings, and to Darryl Yagi for setting up the Onaijin. To Kevin Iwamura for videotaping and editing our online service. Until such time we are all able to gather together again, thank you to all who have joined us today online. Please continue to take care and stay well. Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. To those of you who are interested and wish to make any donation, all contributions are gratefully accepted by check or by credit card by visiting our website. Thank you very much again.